Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp, and today we're going to look at some upcoming board games launching on Kickstarter the first half of September. And I wanted to mention a podcast we're starting. Check out the Tantrum House Board Gaming Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. September 1st brings us Castles and Dragons the board game. You begin as a lord of one realm and try to conquer the rest of the world by using your deadly armies or by uniting kingdoms to form a country. Test yourself in a supply and demand market. Create pacts with other lords to make your way to the crown faster and easier. Then break them and destroy opponents by sending spies to their lands. Every move you take influences the happiness of your people. When it reaches the top, you can form a country, but when it falls to the ground, your people will assassinate you. Will you accept the challenge? We'll also see Makkah on September 1st. It's a quick card game for 2 to 5 players. In Makkah, players take turns to build on their zoos. The first player to open their zoo is the winner. The game has a strong tit-for-tat feel because of how action cards let you meddle with your opponent's hand and board. And here's a bunch launching on September 5th. Scrooge. Take on the role of one of Dickens' famous characters, survive your journey through the 56 streets of Victorian London, and be the first player to successfully beat Scrooge in his moment of truth. Powered by 5 card decks and over 10 interactive street mechanics, your challenge is to avoid bankruptcy as you battle against Scrooge and the other Scrooges in this fast-paced adventure race across the city. Can you out-Scrooge the Scrooge? Wreck and Ruin is a vehicle miniatures board game set in a not-too-distant future of a post-apocalyptic world. 2 to 4 players can choose between 4 factions and make up their convoy from the 4 classes of vehicles available. Scouts are fast and can shoot on the move, but are weak. Buggies can repair other vehicles. Wreckers are powerful vehicles designed to crush their opponents, and big rigs are slow, but have strong attacks and can soak up damage and still keep going too. The game is played on a series of tiles, which allow for different challenges each time you play. Hunt the Ravager is a 2-player hidden movement game that allows the players to play both roles. The game is played on a modular board. You can play the Ravager, trying to capture the silos, or the Egmatisha, trying to eliminate the Ravager. The Networks Executives is a full expansion from the Networks by Formal Ferret Games. In Black Souls, you have been given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be hired by Designer Incorporated as a level designer, an integral part of Black Souls' development team. As one of the finalist candidates, you must prove your designing skills under the judging eyes of your future employers in an early beta access trial to create a level that best reflects the spirit of Black Souls, a very difficult yet fair game. Who will be the final candidate to be inducted into the rank of Designer Incorporated, a game about designing a game? And the art is by the same illustrator of the popular Munchkin series. Wander, the Cult of Barnacle Bay, is the first game in the Wander series, a fully cooperative, campaign-driven miniatures board game. Wander, the Cult of Barnacle Bay tells the story of 5 heroes from the Wanderers Guild and their struggle to free the small fishing town of Barnacle Bay from the slimy claws of Elder Bane. Driven mad by power and physically twisted from dark magic, Elder Bane has created a cult of mutated townsfolk that only desire to spread their message of madness to the rest of the world, bending it to their whim along their way. Constellation Dice. In this Kickstarter, you can get glow-in-the-dark or silver-painted full sets. Monolith will be offering a new Kickstarter campaign for a brand new Conan Compendium. This compendium will be a sleek, beautiful, hardcover, and fully illustrated tome, similar to the Conan campaign book. It will include 20 scenarios, which will be available for free on Monolith's website, and plenty of character and creature lore, and the campaign will only last 5 days. Krill is a tile-laying strategy board game where the players take turns to place tiles on the game board. As they do so, their Krill swarms emerge and grow. Players can place Krill swarms tiles to build and to block other players. At the end of the turn, the players can relocate their Krill knights for the best protection or suit their strategy. Heirs of the Wizard King. The Wizard King has selected you and your rivals to be his heirs. He plans to teach you everything he knows and select the best of you to be the next king. In the game, each color of the wizard uses a unique type of spell that you can choose to command or absorb. You're trying to defeat the Black Wizard, Players forge chains of wizards by matching any combination of color or number. The first player to reach the top of the score track defeats the black wizard and becomes the next wizard king. Players must work together to stop the black wizard, but in the end, only one can be crowned the next wizard king. Check out our review of this one on YouTube. September 6th, we see Scarlet Pimpernel. In Scarlet Pimpernel, you play as members of the League helping the Scarlet Pimpernel accomplish 7 missions, rescuing the innocent from the guillotine. No mission will be as important as the last, for you save the young Dauphin, heir to the French throne, by whisking him away to Vienna. The Legend of Korra launches September 6th. It's based on the fan-favorite Nickelodeon animated series The Legend of Korra Probending Arena. It's a 2-player competition of wits, tricks, and speed as players take control of Republic City's favorite sport. As in the show, Probending Matches are a game of push and pull with an objective toward being the team that has either advanced the farthest toward or completely knocked their opponents out of the ring. We'll also see Drakkar on September 6th. You are a leader of a Viking village, and you must collect and steal resources such as goats, weapons, and gold to show you are the strongest Viking on the island. Will you be the Viking worth the favor of the gods? During each turn, you use your own cards and the ones that you steal from rivals to build your ship, hire your warriors, and store your beer. September 7th, we'll see Terraskaria. It's a cutthroat game of gluttony and a fast-paced game of card collection where everyone is trying to eat all the succulent meats that appear on their plates while avoiding the equally delicious but ultimately less satisfying sides and desserts that just get in the way. All the while, the food theft, plate swapping, and general backstabbing keep the food flying. The person who consumes the most meat wins. Supervillain will launch sometime around September 5th, 6th, or 7th. In this game, you're managing your hand of cards to launch asteroids at your opponents, assign your loyal minions, and build secret facilities to win the game and become the supervillain. Check out our review of this one on YouTube. September 7th, we'll see the card game Someone Has Died. Using all the cards in your hand, craft a character and convince the estate keeper that you are the most deserving of inheriting the worldly or otherwise possessions of the deceased. On September 11th, we'll see Panik. It's a card game of commodity trading between the wealthiest of ladies and gentlemen. September 11th, we'll see Bogus News of the game. Each player gets 10 black cards and 5 red. The editor reveals the brief card, and you build your headline. Then you win circulation on the scoreboard. Here are a few examples for one sets of the cards. Cheese Quest launches on September 12th. You're finally found a place to call home. There's a safe place for the nest and plenty of cheese lying around. There are just 2 problems. You aren't the only mouse here, and worse yet, a bunch of cats are roaming about. But it's dinner time, and nothing's going to stop you from getting that cheese. Be crafty, strategic, and fast. You'll need to split your time between progress and sabotage as you and other mice race to the first to return 2 cheeses to the nest. On September 12th, we'll see Human Punishment. It's a combination of social deduction, social experiment, and a party game for 4 to 16 players. Each player takes on the role of a human, a machine, or an outlaw in a distant future. Players must investigate others to figure out who is on their side, grab one of the 4 different weapons, and eliminate the enemies. Stay focused. Maybe there are hidden enemies on your team. Find your team and trust no one. The brand new trader mechanic will evolve the table into a social experiment. On September 11th or 12th, we'll see Bulletproof. It's a game for 2 to 5 players that blends tactics, strategy, and luck as players compete to build criminal empires. Characters use corruption, bribes, and many other secret weapons to interfere with other players, acquire territories, and put money in their safe. Bria launches September 12th. It's coming from Mind Clash games that made Trickerion and Anachrony. Leave the outside world behind and submerge into Cerebria, and shape the future of the inside world in a 2 to 4 player area control team game. Assume the role of Cerebria's spirits, associated with either bliss or gloom, and invoke emotion cards with various intensities and abilities to occupy important areas on the board. The game is won by the side with more influence over the fully grown identity, thus becoming the dominant force in Cerebria. Space Editor launches September 13th. It's a 2 to 4 player battle card game whose theme is the creation of the universe. As a player, you will become an incarnation of a god that governs an element constituting the universe, create the universe, and control it. Check out our review of this one on YouTube. Clear the Decks launches September 14th. Each player starts with 3 cannons, an 18-24, and a 36-pounder. The enemy ship is constructed based on the number of players and difficulty you're willing to face. Deal out your cards and fire at will. Kickstarter campaign for Warehouse 13, the board game, sometime the beginning of September. Delivery Ducks launches September 15th. You're a duck in a truck delivering packages. Unfortunately, ducks aren't very good at doing deliveries. Crates fall off vehicles and other players can steal your cargo. Delivery Ducks is a strategy family game for 2 to 6 players. Well, thank you for joining us, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our new podcast.